Hello. I want to introduce the syllabus to computational social science. This is the syllabus for 3501 and 5501, the undergraduate and graduate codes. At the top of the syllabus, we have course ID. This is spring 2023. My name is Jacob Reedhead. This is my email address, my Zoom link. Our section time is Tuesday, Thursday, 5:30 to 6:45 in Valley Hana Hall number 10. I believe this is on the 5th floor. And my office is on the 3rd floor, Valley Hana 327. I haven't decided office hours yet, but I will let you know on our first day of class. So I'm recording this because even though I'll go over the syllabus some on the first day, not everybody may be in class the first day, or you might want to look at this before we start class on Tuesday, just to get a feel of what the class is going to be like. So I'm not going to go through read the whole introduction, but basically the point of this class, the one thing I want you to get out of this is that computational social science is often associated with statistics, estimation, and inference, like using R to build linear regression models or things like that. While these statistical methods are important, computation now permeates every aspect of social science, from data collection, visualization, concept exploration, to simulation and prediction. So I've given some examples of this here. You can look at these. Mining websites, generating data through apps, using app builders to run online experiments, dynamic graphics, clustering, algorithms, all kinds of applications here. The point is, for this class, this course is going to survey, well, for this class, I think students are commonly exposed to these computational methods for statistics in your statistics and econometrics courses. So I'm not going to cover those in this class. Instead, I'm going to cover some of the less standard but more exciting applications of computational social science used for data collection, visualization, and concept exploration. So these are some of the tools that we'll use. Python pandas, some visualization tools such as R, D3JS, data wrapper. We'll do text mining and discourse analysis using Python. We'll do social network and semantic network analysis using R. And a fourth topic, probably I'm gonna I think machine learning will do for the fourth topic, but we can change that if you really want to. So by surveying these more non-conventional applications, I want to give you some sense of the spirit of creativity that comes with computational social science. But these are not standardized methods. A lot of these methods are kind of being innovated. They're in the process of innovation, and that's something I want to convey to you with this class. You can read the rest of this, but basically this course balances kind of knowing about social sciences, computational social science, as well as knowing how to do computational social science. So both of these will be important. And the knowing what part is going to be addressed through in the in-class lectures and seminars and research reviews. The knowing how to do this, how to code, will mostly be taught out of class through skills tutorials and tasks and your team projects. So that's kind of a general introduction to the class, but let's get down to the nuts and bolts a little bit more. So again, I mentioned for intended learning outcomes, I want you to come away with some applied knowledge about computational social science. So this course will raise your applied knowledge of computational social science by fostering your awareness of methods, computational methods, and how they're used, but also and also your familiarity with these applications in academic research and also industry. So the knowledge component of this course is very applied, and then the how-to part of this course focuses on improving your research skills. First of all, most importantly, implementing these computational methods and applying them to social science, but also your skills in communicating the results of your analysis, and also writing literature reviews. So these are the three kind of research skills that we emphasize in this class. So how is the course organized? The course is organized around 4 modules: New Horizons, New Challenges. So this is kind of our introductory module, introducing general topics. And then the last 3 are focused on methods. So social network analysis, text analysis, and machine learning. Each of these is not a single method, it's a family of computational methods. And we'll spend about, for each module, we'll spend about 3 or 4 lectures on each of these, and then followed by 2 review seminars led by you, the students, in teams. So let me tell you about the teams. During the first week of the semester, the class will organize into teams of 3 or 4 students based on your shared interests. So some of you are coming from IR, some from economics, administration, public administration and media, maybe other outside of CSS. By the second class session, you'll let me know who's going to be on your team, what the theme of your team is, and a team name. So ideally, our class will have 4 or 5 teams. Right now, I think we have 15 students. We might have up to 20 students. So students are going to work, you'll work in teams to prepare literature reviews for each module, and you're also going to work together on a term project. So I'll tell you about these more in a minute. But the idea of working in teams is to allow you to draw on each other's strengths. Some of you might be better at coding, some of you might be better at writing or reviewing literature, reading articles or summarizing them. So by working in teams, you can kind of balance your strengths. But the other reason that I want you to work in teams is because I want you to be able to customize your literature reviews and your research projects on themes that matter to you. So if you're an IR student and you're interested in diplomacy and trade, or you're an economics student and you're interested in microeconomics, for example, I want you, I mean, of course, this course is about computational social science, but we can apply those computational methods to any discipline, social science discipline. So I want you and your team to choose the topic that's interesting to you, this theme, and then throughout the course, you're going to customize the content. We're going to customize the content of the course for your team's theme. So again, the course will center on these modules: social network analysis, text analysis, machine learning. But within your teams, you might be, say you're an IR student and a team, let's call you team IR, and you selected the theme of diplomacy and trade. Then for each of your modules, you'll find some paper related to social network analysis of diplomacy and trade, and some text analysis. In the text analysis module, you'll look at text analysis methods applied to diplomacy and trade, and machine learning applications or methods applied to diplomacy and trade. And then if you're an economics student, again, each module you'll look at papers applying this method to your topic. So in this way, I want this course to be very customized to your specific interests. That's the idea of teams. So throughout the course, we'll have several activities. We'll have lectures. We'll have some in-class team activities. We'll have review seminars where we review academic literature. And we'll also have some invited talks. So these are the in-class activities. Out of class, individually, you will have study some skills tutorials online, and you will pass some skills. So, and out of class in teams, you're going to do these literature reviews together, and a team project, and also consultations with me about your team project. So these are the different activities that we'll be doing this semester. These ones in class, these ones out of class. If you're interested in this, you know, again, above we had those 5 ILOs, up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do the activities in the class correspond to these ILOs? You can see that in this matrix here, if you're interested in doing that, looking at that. So let's talk about grades, the assessments and grades, specifically, like what assignments are you going to have, and how are you going to be graded for them? So this class basically has 4 types of, you'll have 4 activities that you're graded on. The first are literature reviews. We have 4 modules. You will do 4 reviews. Each of those is worth 10 points. This is the biggest chunk of points for the course. 40% of the course is on these literature reviews. And these are distributed across the first assessment, second assessment, and the first one in the first assessment, second review in the second assessment, and the last 2 reviews will be graded in the final assessment. Then outside of class and by yourself, you will watch the skills tutorials, and you'll pass skills tasks. These will be coding tasks where I give you code, and you can go through these tasks, run the code, and complete the tasks. So this is how you're going to kind of practice the different methods. There are 5 tasks. Each is worth 5 points each. In the first assessment period, you'll do 3 of these tasks for 15 points. In the second assessment period, you'll do 2 of these coding tasks for 10 points. That's 25 points. So that's the second biggest piece of this course, which you will be doing individually. Then you have the team project. The team project has 3 graded portions. There's the proposal, the draft, and the final. The proposal is worth 5 points, the draft is worth 10 points, and the final is worth 5 points. And these are will be done toward the end of the semester. So you can see here the skills tasks are going to be front-loaded. You'll do these toward the beginning of the semester, and then after you finish the skills tasks and you have some experience kind of coding these, then you'll do the team project, which is going to kind of apply this coding knowledge that you now have to a project, which you'll do at the end of the semester, the second half of the semester. Lastly, we have 3 assessment periods. I give 5 points of attendance for each assessment period, and that's a total of 15 points. That accounts for your 100 points, with 30, 30, and 40 across the 3 assessment periods. So that's grading. A general overview of the assessments and grades. So now I'm going to go through each of these assessments, literature reviews, skills tasks, team project. These are the 3 main, assignments that you'll be doing. So let me go through these one at a time. So the first is the literature review. So the literature review for each module, before the second lecture of each module, your team will select 1 or more articles related to that module's topic, as well as your team's theme. So if the module is social network analysis and your team theme is diplomacy and IR, then you will find a social network article on diplomacy, for example. You will submit your list of readings to me before the second lecture of each module. By the next lecture, I will either approve your reading list or consult with you to revise it. So first, each module, you're going to come up with a reading list and then double check with me. And once we've kind of agreed on that, then you're going to do the review. You're going to do the review in the form of a video. So once the reading list has been agreed on, your team members will review the articles, and then you will prepare a 10-minute review video according to the following steps. So how do you make a review video? First of all, you are going to read and annotate the articles on your reading list. So here you have like 1 or 2 articles on your reading list. You're going to read and annotate those. Then you're going to meet and discuss as a team the articles and decide how to write and present your review video. So there's some preparation involved. You're going to produce a script and slides in preparation for making your review video. So your script will be 2 to 3 pages in Word. So this is like if you're writing a literature review of the 1 or 2 articles, you'll write that out in 2 to 3 pages in Word, and you'll have some slides in PowerPoint showing relevant figures, which you copy from the article, and any other slides that you make, such as slides evaluating or comparing articles if you have more than 1 article. So you'll take these slides. You might just have 5 slides or 10 slides, however many slides you have with your script. You will take those and you will produce a review video that's about 10 minutes long and reviews the articles on your list. And in your review video, you will just basically narrate your slides using an audio voiceover of your script, just like I'm doing right now with this syllabus, right? So this video is not going to be anything fancy. You will just go through a PowerPoint slide presentation, doing the audio voiceover, just like I'm doing with the syllabus now. And then at least 1 day before the review seminar, we'll have a review seminar, and at least 1 day before that, you will upload your review video onto YouTube. Make sure that the privacy setting is marked either public or unlisted, so that everyone else can open the link. And you will submit your script, your slides, and the YouTube link to me on Moodle. So I'll show you where that is on Moodle once I set up my Moodle page by Tuesday. So you're going to do one of these review videos, come up with a reading list, and then review these articles. You'll have about 2 weeks to do 2 weeks to do this. To read the article, write a quick, not a quick, but a brief script of your review, pull out the slides that you want to cover, and record a 10-minute review narrating your slides using the audio voiceover of your script. So, and then once you've uploaded this to Moodle, we'll have a review seminar, which is 2 class sessions. So 2 class sessions we'll spend at the end of each module, module 1, 2, 3, 4. Each module will have 2 class sessions dedicated to a review seminar, where teams will present your video reviews. And you will lead a class discussion on your research articles. So prior to the review seminar, I will upload all of your research articles and review videos to the review seminar page. So actually here, you need to submit your research article. Well, I'll put the link up to your research article because you'll give me that with your reading list. So I'll upload the research articles as well as your review videos to the review seminar webpage on Moodle. And then on the day of the research seminar, probably 2 or 3 teams will present the review videos and then lead a class discussion, evaluating and comparing the research and the computational methods. And hopefully, if 2 or more teams have complementary research articles to present, for example, if we have 2 teams who are interested in IR, then we'll try to put them on the same day. And then if if 2 or 3 teams are presenting on the same day, then you guys should coordinate your presentations in class discussion. So the review seminar is organized by you. You're presenting your review videos, and you are leading a class discussion, kind of discussing the research papers and your analysis of them. So that's the review seminar. This is the grading rubric. So how am I going to grade the review videos, the literature review? So you're going to prepare 4 of these over the course of the semester, 1 for each module. Each literature review is worth 10 points, and is going to be graded according to these. This is the rubric. So before the review seminar, you get 4 points for submitting the reading list, the script, the slides, and YouTube link. During the review seminar, you get 6 points for addressing these aspects of the article, the research question, the main argument, the scope, the variables, data, and methods, analysis and author's discussion, and then you evaluating and comparing articles, evaluating the computational methods, and coordinating with the other teams. I'll cover this in greater detail when we actually do it. And so here's the grading rubric. And then I mentioned kind of these aspects of the review. Let me, just to give you more detail about this, I have these review questions. So when you're reading and reviewing articles, I want you to do it, I want you to consider these questions. So, the research question, what is the research question addressed by the article? The main argument, what is the main argument of the article? The scope, the variables, the data, what data is used in the article, what computational methods are used, analysis, author's discussion, and your evaluations of the article overall and of the computational method specifically. So going back up here, when you review a video, when you review these articles, you're reading and annotating articles, you're discussing the articles, deciding how to present your review. When you discuss these articles and when you produce a script, these are the items that I want you to consider. So, you can meet and discuss it. What was the research question? You can talk about it. What was the main argument? You can talk about it. And then as you write the script, you'll kind of want to touch on each of these points. So this is why the review video might be 10 minutes long, because you're going to go through, you're going to kind of take this article apart and look in particular, again, because this is computational social science, we're especially interested in what are they using as data and methods, and evaluating the computational method. How does the computational method help or hinder the article? And if you're evaluating more than one article, then compare the strengths and weaknesses of each article's application of this method. So, okay, so that's the literature review. We'll talk more about this in class. Let me show you the calendar just as an example of how this would work. So here's the course schedule. So in the first week of class, we'll have introductions. And then the second lecture will be, we'll start module 1. So this is the New Horizons, new challenges. So blue here are content lectures. These are lectures that I will deliver, share with you. Here, your reading list is going to be due after the second lecture. So that's Wednesday, the 18th. Your team's first reading list will be due. You will choose an article about related to the challenges of computational methods, either AI and ethics, the promise of big data. So you'll find some article related to this and related to your theme, right? Diplomacy or microeconomics, whatever. You'll submit that reading list. I'll approve it, or we'll revise it by the third lecture, and then you'll have your reading list, and you'll have a week to do your first review video. Right? So, which will be due the following week, so Wednesday, January 25th. Normally, I'll give you more time to do these. The first module is kind of compressed because we only have 3 lectures. But you'll submit that by Wednesday, January 25th, and then that Thursday and the next Tuesday, we'll have the review seminar where we watch 2 or 3 of the review videos and you lead class discussion. And this will be at the end of module 1. So that's how we'll end module 1. And then again, for module 2, actually this reading list will be due at the end of the second one. So here, no, I really wanted you to. I want you to submit them after the first one. So yeah, so you have this as much time as possible. So we'll have the introductory lecture by the second lecture, which is so Monday, February 6th. I ask you to submit before the second lecture, right? So before the second lecture, you'll submit reading list 2, and then by the third lecture, I'll approve that. And then your second video review will be due Sunday, February 19th. And then again, here in module 2, I'll deliver 4 lectures. We'll have a guest speaker talk, and then we'll have the 2 review seminars again. So you'll present your second video review videos and have discussion. So that's kind of how it'll work throughout the whole semester. Module 2, 3, 4 review seminars. So that's the literature review. Okay, so the second thing is skills test. So throughout the semester, I will provide tutorials on the following 5 topics. So we'll have data wrangling with pandas and visualization in R and drj.js. These are kind of some basic data manipulation, visualization. These are more kind of basic skills, computational, but kind of more conventional. And I'm having you do these initially before we get into the more kind of advanced stuff, just to get familiar with Python and R. Then the next tutorial will be on social network analysis in R, and then we'll have text analysis in Python, and finally machine learning in Python. So I'll have each of these tutorials will include a series of YouTube videos, some sample data, some sample code, and instructions for the skills task. These tasks will not be that difficult. So you'll follow, you'll watch the videos, you'll run the code on the sample data, and you'll kind of just run through the code. And the skills task will mostly be this kind of running code on the data that I provide you and producing the output. So I might ask you to change a few things or tweak the code a little bit, but it will not be it's not a test, and it's not like independent research, right? You're not like getting new data or anything like that. I just want you to make sure that you can install these programs and that you can run the code, which I provided, that you have kind of the basic ability just to kind of run these methods. So I'm not going to ask you to code. I'm not going to ask you to take a test. You'll have all the time, have as much time as you want to work on these. But the first 3 tutorials will be available. Yeah. Okay, so the first 3 tutorials will be available by the end of Module 1. The last 2 uploaded before the midterm study break. So basically, you'll watch these tutorials, and then by the end of week 7, so by February 26th, you need to submit the skills task for these first 3. And these will go in your first assessment grade. And then by the end of week 12, so this is Sunday, April 9th, you'll review the last 2 tutorials and submit the skills task for those. That's these last 2 topics. So if you look at the overview here, the skills tasks, you'll be graded on the first 3 skills tasks in the first assessment period and the last 2 skills tasks in the second assessment period. I'm having you finish these quickly in the first and second periods because I want you to be familiar with the code, coding these methods before you start your team project where you'll need to use some of that code maybe. So these are kind of front loaded to the beginning of the class, and then the team project, you'll use that knowledge in the second half. So those are the skills tasks. I'll show you more about these later. And here's for each skills task, it's quite simple. Like they're each worth 5 points. You'll get 1 point for submitting the data, 1 point for submitting the code you used, and 3 points for submitting task outputs. So each of those tasks is worth 5 points. Okay, so the next thing is the team project. The team project basically combines a skills task with a literature review. So with the literature review, you're not doing the analysis, you're just analyzing other people's analysis. Right? With the skills task, you're coding the method, you're implementing the method, but you're not framing it around any kind of a research question. Right? You're just running the code. The team project kind of combines these things. So with the team project, you're going to choose a data set. You will run a method on that data set, which you learned in the skills tasks, and you will frame that in relation to some literature that you have already reviewed. So basically the team project is like one literature, it's combining the skills task and the literature review into a single project. So the project has a few parts. So let me go down here, show you, kind of explain what you're going to do for the project. First of all, by the end of week 8, you're going to propose your project. So notice you're not proposing a project until halfway through the course, because I want you to have already done some of the skills tasks and heard about at least 2 or 3, at least 2 of the methods, social network analysis and text analysis, before you start thinking about what you will do for a project. So the project proposal will be due at the end of week 8 on Sunday, March 4th. You will submit a 2 to 3 page proposal. It will be pretty simple. The project will apply 1 or more computational methods to a unique data set. So this data set and analysis will relate to your team's theme, right? So if you're the diplomacy team, you're going to choose a diplomacy and trade data set. Or if you're a microeconomics team, you're going to choose something related to microeconomics, right? For example. It doesn't have to be like super new or novel. The idea is that you can replicate or improve or extend the analysis conducted in one of the research articles that you have already reviewed, or you can perform an entirely new analysis that you haven't seen in the prior literature. So you can, for example, if you want to do a network analysis of diplomacy, diplomatic ties, maybe in module 2, you reviewed an article on social network analysis in diplomacy, and so your project will kind of relate to the article that you already reviewed for module 2. So the idea is this team project will kind of link to one of the literature reviews that you have already done. And that will make the introduction and the related literature much easier because you will have already kind of framed the analysis and reviewed the articles related to that topic. So this part, if you link this project to a review that you've already done, then this front end will be very easy. Right? And then the new part for this, for you, is choosing a data set and deciding what kind of analysis you're going to do. So with the project proposal, you're not actually doing all of this just yet. You're just telling me what kind of data do you want to use, what kind of analysis do you want to do, and a conclusion, what results do you hope to obtain from this analysis, and your backup plan, right? What if you can't get the data you want? What if you have trouble coding that analysis? Like, do you have a backup? So this is 2 to 3 pages. You'll do this together as a team. You'll submit it. Then in week 9, week 11, and week 13, we'll have consultations as you do this project. Hopefully by week 9, you'll have your data. Hopefully by week 11, you'll have coded some of your analysis. Hopefully by week 13, you'll have results, hopefully. These consultations are milestones for your project, but they're not graded. It's just a chance for you to meet with me and make sure you're on track. If your project is on track, then these consultations will be easy. You can just come, we can just, show me what your data is, show me your analysis, and you're good to go. If you have trouble, then these consultations are good opportunities to talk about that. Okay, oh, we couldn't get the data we wanted, or we're having trouble coding, or we're like the output's not looking like we wanted to. So consultations are a chance for us to talk about that, help you troubleshoot any issues. You will, just like, so once your analysis is completed, then your team will prepare a script, slides, and a 10 to 15 minute video, a project video. This is going to be very similar to what you did for the review video. So there's nothing super new here. Right? You're going to have a script. It's going to relate to your proposal. Right? So your script will cover the introduction, the literature, the data, computational analysis. But your project video will be a little bit longer than the proposal because the data in computational analysis and conclusion sections are going to be, they're going to present what you've actually done. So these will be a little bit longer than your proposal will be. But the front end, especially this introduction and literature review, should be, you can just take that straight from your proposal. So you don't have to write anything new for that. Slides, what are you going to use for slides? You should use quotes or figures from the cited literature. You can use some descriptive statistics of your data. You should include the figures produced by your analysis and any other figures or text that you created to summarize the logic or process of your analysis. So all of these slides and script you will use together. In the project video, you will narrate your slides using an audio voiceover of your script. So just like I'm doing again with this Word document, you can go through your slides and narrate it to create a 10 to 15 minute video. And you'll submit that by Wednesday, April 26th, in the middle of week 15. You will upload your project draft video draft to YouTube. Again, the settings should be public or unlisted so that I can open the link. And you'll submit your script, your slides, and your YouTube link to Moodle, just like a review video. Just like the review seminar, we'll have a project seminar. So we'll spend 2 class sessions where you will present your project videos and lead a class discussion. So this is pretty much the same as a review seminar, except now we're reviewing your projects instead of other people's research. And last but not least, the final project video. So after the project seminar, you will get feedback from your peers, from other students, and I will provide you written feedback highlighting your strengths as well as 2 significant critiques. So these could be technical issues, they could be conceptual problems. You will have 2 weeks to address these critiques and resubmit your video. So that will be due Sunday, May 15th during the final assessment period. Exact same process, right? So upload it to YouTube, submit your script, slides, and the YouTube link into Moodle. So how are we going to grade these? The project proposal is, like I said, is worth 5 points. You get graded based on this. Make sure your proposal has an introduction, just related literature, just 2 to 3 articles. It's not a major literature review. Talks about the data, what analysis you're going to do in the conclusion. Each of these is worth 1 point in your proposal. The video draft is worth 10 points. So you get 1 point for submitting script and slides. You get 7 points here for, or 8 points here for the actual content. So 1 for the introduction, 1 for the related literature, 2 points for the data, including, so your video needs to introduce your data set and you need to present some descriptive statistics. So that's worth 2 points in your project video. And your 3 points for the computational analysis, which is obviously the core of this. So you'll present and interpret your analysis, 1 point for the conclusion, and 1 point for coordinating, presenting your video draft and leading a class discussion in the project seminar. So altogether, 10 points. And then, as I mentioned, after you present in the project seminar, you will get, I will give you 2 most significant critiques. So for the final project video, it's worth 5 points. I'm not going to assess all of these things all over again. What I'm going to do is assess how well you responded to those 2 significant critiques. So you will revise your project video and resubmit it, but I'm not looking at everything. I'll be looking specifically at how you responded to the 2 most significant critiques. So this revision is worth 5 points. I will give you 3 points for addressing the first critique and 2 points for addressing the second critique. And that's how you can revise your video and get 5 points by addressing these critiques. So those are the 3 assessments, and I'm going to stop there, and I will cover attendance. Well, let's see. I guess I'm almost done here. So let me quickly cover our attendance policy. Attendance, you receive 5 points for each assessment period. So 15% of the class is attendance. Attendance is very important in this class. So for each assessment period, first, second, and final assessment period, you begin with 5 points. 5% of the final grade. You can have 1 unexcused absence, but you will lose 2.5 points for each unexcused absence. after the first one. So so for example, if you have one unexcused absence, you still get 5 points. But if you have 2 unexcused absences, you lose 2.5 points. If you have 3 unexcused absences in the same assessment period, you will lose your 5 attendance points. So you'll have 0 and get 0 points. If you you will receive 1/2 of an absence when arriving more than 15 minutes late or leaving more than 15 minutes early. And even after you if you've lost all of your attendance points, say you have like 3 unexcused absences and you have lost your 5 attendance points, if you have an additional unexcused absence after that, I subtract 1 point, just because I don't want to kind of just, oh, I've already missed like 3 classes, I guess I can skip the rest of the period. You know, I guess I don't have to attend the rest of the assessment period. I want to make attendance valuable to you. So attendance constitutes 15% of your final grade. Excused absences do not affect your participation points. So unexcused absences may be excused if you get a note from the doctor, right? You call Sergey. If you get a note from an administrator because you were absent due to some official university event, or if you have a family emergency, then these are obviously, you know, I will excuse these absences. Absences due to the following reasons, I do not excuse. So if you have trouble with a vehicle, got stuck in traffic, you're on vacation with your family, you have jobs or internships, you're working, or you have an absence due to working on homework or class project, these I don't consider excused absences. So you really need to be in class. If you anticipate that you're going to have trouble attending due to job or internship, you know, let me know, and maybe hopefully we can work something out, because it's very important for you to be present in class, participating in discussion. Again, like a lot of the class periods, some of the class periods, these blue ones are me lecturing, but these red ones are you leading discussions, you know, about research or about your own projects. So many, you know, I would say a good third of the class periods are actually led by you, the students. So it's imperative that you attend class. That's why I weigh attendance so heavily. All of the course materials are available in Moodle. Here's a list of what that includes. Academic policies, this is the standard grading scale. Extra credit, I normally don't offer extra credit. If I do, it's usually 1 or 2 points as an incentives for teams to sign up for early time slots for presentations or consultation. If I offer credit, extra credit, it will not be offered arbitrarily. So, but I'll offer it systematically to all students and teams equally. So, you know, end of the semester, professor, I just need 1 point to get an A+. Can you please give me some extra credit? I'm sorry, I don't arbitrarily offer opportunities for extra credit that way. Academic integrity, you know, the basics. Please don't cheat. Please don't plagiarize. Please don't lie to me. I won't lie to you. Anyway, so this is pretty standard boilerplate. Okay, and lastly, the course schedule. So I've just divided it by weeks. You can see module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4. Each of these modules starts with 3 or 4 topic lectures. I usually try to break it up with a guest speaker to give you more time to prepare your review video, and then we have these review seminars to end the module, reviewing the literature about these topics. On the right-hand column here, I include deadlines. So most of these deadlines are related to the review videos, the reading lists and reviews. Here, the skills tasks are due the end of week 7. Your project proposal is due Sunday, March 5th, before the study break. Then I also have the consultations in here. on week 11, week 9, week 11, and week 13. Your second set of skills tasks 4 and 5 are due before the second assessment at the end of week 12. Your project draft is due the middle of week 15, and then we have the project seminars to end the semester. So, and then during the final assessment period, you can submit your final draft, your final project video. And this will be your project video draft. Yeah, the final project video due on Sunday, May 15th. So that's the course. No midterms, no exams. All of the work is kind of encapsulated in these 3 basic activities, right? The literature reviews, the skills tasks, and the team project. So I hope it's a good balance of theory and methods. And I also hope it's a good balance of kind of specific knowledge about these computational methods, like for social network analysis, for example, like network level measures, centrality measures, clustering, and structural equivalence. I will give you a good foundation in the social network analysis, but then I want you to be able to have a chance to apply, to see how social network analysis is applied to a field that you're interested in. Again, for text mining, I'll give you a good foundation for mining text, semantic units and latent topics, semantic network analysis, discourse and frame analysis. But then I want you to apply those methods, or see how those methods are applied in the, in disciplines that matter to you. Same thing with machine learning. So I just have to flesh this out. But okay, that's the syllabus. So I won't be able to cover this in such detail, I think, on the first day of class. So I want to put it up here. Please look at this before class if possible, and let me know if you have any questions when we meet in class on Tuesday. It's going to be a great semester. I'm looking forward to working with all of you, and I'll see you in class on Tuesday.